You're watching EAC News. Thanks for joining us. And now for a look at news making international headlines this Thursday, 5th of May.
Mexican police found 280 migrants trapped behind a fake wall inside a truck abandoned on a highway near the southern town of Cordoba on Tuesday, May 3rd. According to a report from the Veracruz police, the migrants were from Nicaragua, El Salvador, Cuba, Ecuador, Guatemala, and Honduras, of which 18 of them were minors. Locals realized the migrants were trapped after they heard screams coming from a truck that broke down, Red Cross worker Jorge Garcia told Reuters. 3 migrants were taken to the hospital for dehydration. Police placed the migrants under the custody of the National Migration Institute, who will determine their legal status in the country.
Political counterparts have exploited and continued under-regulated growth of social media platforms for their own propaganda in the upcoming presidential elections in Colombia, where virtual reality is turning an advertising industry upside down. There is considerable concern about the role that social media, such as Meta platforms and Twitter, play in promoting propaganda during campaigns for the elections due to be held on May 29th. Between the 2 most likely candidates in Colombia, Meta would have been paid at least $250,000 with carefully targeted ads. Luisa Izala, a researcher at Green Lantern, said segments advertising is a valuable tool in generating more leads on social media, whether its candidates are targeting a specific neighborhood or the whole country. Despite the data transparent efforts offering by Meta through its open library, it is impossible to guarantee the legality of campaign financing. Izala suggested that the law should be equalize opportunities for candidates because some of them do not have enough money to pay for advertising and publicity like others. Algenaro Barras, the director of electoral observation missions, said that Colombia has built a control system for financing of political campaigns and elaborated in such a way that it does not work. She added that the interactions generated from online advertising may well come from real citizens, bots, trolls, and even external interests. She noted that her country's electoral authority is not strong enough to monitor the resources spent on campaigning in terms of legitimacy and legality in Colombian law, especially with the presence of large territories with illegal economics. On the other hand, Isa said that we also know that more publicity does not necessarily mean a successful election. For example, the candidate Franca Marquez invested very little and still she was relevant to achieve good results. It should be noted that in recent years there is a continuous debate on social media propaganda around elections in America, France, Philippines, and more.
A Chinese expedition team successfully finished its latest comprehensive scientific expedition mission on Mount Chomolungma, or Mount Everest, on Wednesday, setting a number of new world records at the summit of the world's highest peak. The Chinese scientists involved in the expedition successfully reached the summit of the world's highest mountain, Mount Chomolungma, and established the world's highest automatic weather station at around 8,800 meters above sea level, just beneath the summit, a senior researcher said on Wednesday. At 12:46 local time on Wednesday, a total of 13 members of the Chinese expedition team reached the summit of Mount Chomolungma at a height of 8,848.86 meters, successfully set up the automatic weather station with the highest altitude in the world, and completed the most critical and challenging comprehensive task of their peak scientific research in order to study the climate change and its impact on the very high altitude area of the Qinghai Tibet Plateau under the background of global warming. 8 weather stations were set up from 5,200 meters to 8,830 meters above sea level, among which 4 stations were set up at the altitude of over 7,000 meters above sea level, realizing complete gradient meteorological observation at various altitudes of Mount Chomolungma. Yao Tandong, the leader of the expedition team, who is also an academician with the Institute of Tibetan Plateau Research under the Chinese Academy of Sciences, said they were able to lay a good foundation for a comprehensive scientific expedition and achieved success. The expedition team also transmitted meteorological data from the altitude of 8,830 meters above sea level to the Chomolungma base camp at the altitude of 5,200 meters above sea level for the first time. They used a glacier radar to measure the thickness of snow and ice and collected samples at the summit. In the next step, the expedition team will take advantage of the self-developed Type 3 Jimu No. 1 floating airship to carry out comprehensive scientific observation of the upper atmosphere. More than 270 members in 5 teams participated in the expedition, with the coverage of the largest number of academic disciplines, the participation of the largest number of scientific researchers, and with the use of the most advanced equipment. The expedition has been the largest since the survey on the Qinghai Tibet Plateau started in 2017.